What's up guys, today we're going to be having a look at one of my own personal favourite watches and what I consider to be one of the most overlooked watches in the watch community, the Citizen Grand Touring Classic. Now I've owned the other version of the Grand Touring line by Citizen, which is the Citizen Grand Touring Sport. I owned both color schemes, one with the blue dial and the other one with a black dial. They're beautiful, beautiful watches. On my main channel, if you search on YouTube, Citizen Grand Touring Sport versus Christopher Ward, I made a review comparing both of these two watches. So yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful watch, the Citizen Grand Touring Sport. But with this crown guard and with the extra heft that comes from having the diver's bezel and just the fact that the sport version is quite a chunky watch, it made it a bit uncomfortable to wear personally. So I kept getting the crown digging into my wrist. So I decided to sell that one and stick with the classic version, which I think is just absolutely perfect. I mean, the quality that you get in this watch, I mean in both of them, both in the sport and in this version, but specifically in this version, which is the one we're looking at today, the quality you get, the finishing of the case, the dial, the applied indices with the highly polished finish, those sword hands for the hour and minute. I mean, the quality you're getting here is one that I think if you were to change the Citizen logo for an Omega logo, it wouldn't feel out of place at all. People wouldn't judge the quality one bit. I mean, you're getting outstanding value for money, in my opinion. At the moment, this watch, according to the Citizen website, is going for $995. However, I have constantly seen these on sale for below $500. I paid below $500 for this one. However, I did get it on a discount, so it does depend where you shop. But let's say this watch was $500, which you can easily pick one up for that price. Excellent, excellent value. First of all, you're getting an established brand, one of the biggest watch brands in the world. Citizen make quite a few very, very nice pieces. You also have quite a substantial, robust movement with the Miyota in 1912, which Miyota obviously is owned by Citizen. So as you can see at the back, you have this very nice exhibition case back with the custom Citizen rotor. Very nice, very, very nicely done. Even though the Miyota 1912 isn't really anything to look at, but the way that they've kind of added a bit of extra flair with that custom rotor, I think it works with the display case back. And I also really like this kind of shape, kind of like a porthole look for the back, for the case back, with just the 4 screws, 2 on either side. I think it looks really good. You also have sapphire crystal both in the back and the front, of course. Here you can see the back part of that quite substantial crown guard, which personally, I think at the start it took me a while to get used to this crown guard. I'm wearing at the moment another watch that also has quite a big crown guard, as you can see, the Hamilton Frogman. However, personally, I think the way Citizen has been able to implement their crown guard onto their watch has been much more effective, much less intrusive than what Hamilton did, because Hamilton doesn't really add any extra value. I mean, Hamilton is just there for the sake of giving it kind of that vintage look, going back to the original Frogman. However, okay, Max wants to be involved in the video, as usual. Anyways, however, with the Citizen, you're actually getting an extra level of protection, and you're getting what I consider to be quite an iconic look, kind of like an Omega Ploprof kind of crown guard. And I really like the way that this plays with what would otherwise be quite a conservative design with that very classic looking dial and case shape. So I do think that this implementation of this crown guard has been a lot more effective and just better done, better looking and more refined than the Hamilton. So now all you have to do to be able to change the time or adjust the date is just lift up the top, and you can very easily access the crown and be able to change whatever you need to change. Once you're done, just push it back in, and that's perfect. So personally, I do really like the crown guard on this model. However, I have seen a few people who have actually taken it off and left the crown bare and just taken off this entire metal part. Personally, I wouldn't do it. I think it looks, I think it'll probably ruin the look of the watch, but I have seen some people who have done it, so that's that's an option in case you want to. Now, another thing I absolutely love about this watch is the fact that the crystal on both the Sport Edition and this one is probably the best quality. I'm not sure if it's the best quality crystal, but it's the most clear crystal that I've seen on any watch. I've had Omega Seamasters, I've had Tudor Black Bay. The crystal on this watch is excellent. I mean, right now I'm right in front of a window, so you're obviously going to get some glare, even though it has 2 layers of anti-reflective coating. But in most conditions on this watch, and not to speak about on the sports watch, on the sports edition of this model, it just looked like there was no crystal there. On this one, it doesn't have such a dramatic effect, but still, in most lighting conditions, unless you're getting a direct reflection from a light outlet, you're going to see pretty much an uncovered dial. I mean, it's just a beautiful thing to look at. Like, for example, you can start to see what I'm talking about right there. It just looks like there's no glass there at all. And it's beautiful, beautiful piece of glass on this watch. Also, obviously, how could we not speak about the way they've kind of added that sunburst effect to the black dial to make it play really, really nicely with the light. Once again, highly polished indices all throughout, all of them applied, of course, as you can see right there. It's water resistant to 200 meters. Very, very nice date window with a black background, keeping with the minimalistic, classic, elegant look of the dial. I'm really happy they didn't decide to go for a white background. I think that would have probably thrown the design off. However, for most occasions, the date window, you wouldn't even notice it's there unless you're looking for it, which I really like. I also like how they've put the Citizen logo applied with the highly polished chrome, so it kind of disappears in some lights, as you can see there, and then it just pops up as soon as the light hits it, which is just really, really nice. Now, another thing that's excellent about this watch is how thin it is. I mean, just look at how thin that watch is. It's extremely, extremely comfortable to use. You have a domed sapphire crystal, which you can see right there. Beautiful, just beautiful. You have brushed sides with polished, highly polished edges, and then a highly polished inner ring around this bezel. Very, very nice. Very, very well done. I mean, as I said, this kind of quality of finishing would feel right at home with watches 2-3 times the price. Now, this does come on a stainless steel bracelet as well. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the bracelet version when I was shopping for this, so I had to go with the leather. I do think it looks good on the leather, however, on the bracelet it definitely looks a lot more substantial. So I'm probably going to be looking for a bracelet that can actually fit into the lugs without leaving a gap, because I think that a gap in a bracelet with this kind of a watch would kind of ruin the whole mysticism of the watch. So if any of you guys know about any bracelet that will fit that space without too big of a gap, let me know in the comments. But the leather strap that it comes with is very, very good. I mean, what you'd expect from one of Citizen's higher tier watches. Very, very nice. Thick leather. Nice stitching on it. Very nice. Now these watches, as far as I understand, both the sport version and the classic version have now been discontinued, which means that the prices are very likely to be increasing over the next few years. And personally, I have no intention on selling this. I mean, this is definitely a keeper in my collection, without a doubt. And yeah, I mean, as I said, for the price of this watch, it really is amazing. And it's quite weird, quite strange that so few people actually speak about these watches. Very, very few reviews online, very, very few videos on YouTube. And it's quite strange, because you'd expect a watch like this, especially from such a known brand like Citizen, to be turning a lot more heads. But I'm very happy I found out about this watch back in 2015. I actually found out by watching a review from a guy called Jeff McMahon. He spoke quite a lot about both the sport and the classic version of these watches, and after seeing those reviews, I knew that these were the watches I wanted to add to my collection next, and I've been very, very happy with my Citizen Grand Cherry Classic ever since I got it. So yeah, I mean, for the price that you're paying, this is an excellent, excellent watch. Anyways guys, hope you enjoyed that. Till the next time, peace.